Bards, inspiring leaders, great performers, and the scribes of all great tales. You want to play a bard in the Tales of the Valiant game system? Well, you've come to the right place. Some of the more popular bards in pop culture would include characters such as Jaskier or Dandelion from The Witcher, Esmeralda from The Hunchback of Notre Dame, or even Charlie from Hazbin Hotel, if you really look into it. For those of you who may not be familiar with bards in tabletop role-playing games, they're often spellcasters, using utility and support to inspire their teammates.
If you're coming from 5e and you already know a lot about the bard, you can skip to this timestamp to just get the cliff notes.
So you want to play a bard, but you don't know where to put your ability scores. Well, you should actually focus on charisma and dexterity.
At first level, you gain bardic inspiration, which is a die you can give to your allies so they can add them onto their ability checks or saving throws. That's going to scale with your level.
At second level, you gain an ability called Expertise. This is pretty simple. Essentially, you get to double your proficiency bonus for skills and tools that you select. At second level, you choose between 2 skills, or a skill and a tool. And then at sixth level, you gain Expertise again, and you can choose 2 more options, and they can be 2 skills, 2 tools, a skill and a tool, up to you. Starting at second level, you gain Bardic Performance. Essentially how this works is that you use an action to maintain a performance, and a subsequent bonus action is spent to maintain that for up to a minute. Your performance ends if you start a new performance, or if you just don't use your bonus action to maintain it. These performances have magical abilities for your allies within 30 feet of you, as long as they can see or hear you. Some of these magical effects are as follows.
At second level, you can choose between either Celebrate Life or Cutting Words. If you're doing a Celebrate Life performance, your allies can choose to expend one of their hit dice at the beginning of their turn and heal themselves up. Additionally, they're going to have advantage on death saving throws when around you. Then your other option is Cutting Words. You can use your reaction while you're performing to subtract from the roll of an enemy's ability check, attack roll, or damage roll.
At level 6, you gain an additional performance called Clarity of Thought. Essentially, while allies are within range, they can't be charmed, and they have advantage on saves against being frightened. They also have advantage on saves that end the effects if they're already affected by such a condition. On top of that, later on in the class at 17th level, the range for your performances extends to 60 feet when you hit level 17.
At 5th level, you're gaining Font of Inspiration, which means that you're getting your Bardic Inspiration dice back when you complete a short rest, not just a long rest. And you can use your reaction to give a Bardic Inspiration die in the moment when one of your allies fails a roll to try and succeed it.
Honestly, I really love that addition to it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, if only you had Bardic Inspiration. I've got plenty of charges of it, but I didn't think to give you one, so sorry, you fail.
And it's the quick answer to, sometimes they're like, oh no, could I have given them a Bardic Inspiration?
Yeah.
Like, are you level 5?
And finally, we have Magic Secrets. This is going to come to you at 9th level, but it's going to grow with you as you progress. Essentially, you're able to learn spells from any magic source that you wish. The magic sources in Tales of the Valiant are Arcane, Divine, Primordial, and Weird. Bard primarily uses the Arcane, and then any spell that you choose from this ability counts as an arcane spell for you. Now, Livy, could you tell me a little bit, because what if I want to hang up the old guitar? Maybe I want to go punch people in a boxing ring. Is there anything that's going to dissuade me from going and giving a full-on knuckle sandwich to the boxer?
Just wait. Let heroic boons try and persuade you to stay loyal to the bard a little bit longer. Because at level 10, you're going to gain access to either Persistent Inspiration or Valiant Inspiration. Persistent Inspiration is that when someone is adding your Bardic Inspiration die to one of their rolls, if they still fail, never fear. They still get to keep it and use it on another roll instead. For Valiant Inspiration, if someone has your Bardic Inspiration die and they're rolling damage, they can add it to the total and just do more damage with their weapon type damage. Alternatively, if they take damage, they can subtract that damage using your Bardic Inspiration die plus your Charisma modifier to help them out a little bit more.
Next up, the Epic Boon at level 20. Your great reward for staying loyal to the Bard class. At level 20, you gain Curtain Call. If you start your turn with no uses of Bardic Inspiration remaining, you can use your bonus action to recover a number of these equal to your charisma modifier, minimum of 1. This bonus action can be taken as part of a bonus action to maintain your bardic performance, and once you use this feature, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. And for those of you who are joining us from 5e Gaming, here are some of the ways that this has been changed. First up, your cantrips, you're actually going to start with 3 instead of 2. There are a couple of other spell changes, but I think this is one of the more notable ones since it is at level 1. For weapon proficiencies, you have simple and martial weapon proficiencies, instead of it just being simple and a couple of other martial weapons tacked in there. For your bardic inspiration when it comes to Tales of the Valiant, you're allowed to know the result before you apply your bardic inspiration. That's something that is not allowed in typical 5e rules as written. And you also get that D12 bardic inspiration 1 level earlier at level 14 instead of level 15. For your expertise, you're actually going to gain those at level 2 and level 6 instead of levels 3 and 10, and also you can now choose tool proficiencies. For your font of inspiration, you do still get your expended uses back on a short or long rest, but now you can also use a reaction to grant allies a use of your bardic inspiration when they fail a check near you. One big notable change is that Counter Charm is actually gone from the Tales of the Valiant Bard, and instead you gain bardic performance. And that's how things have been changed. Hope you enjoyed. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the Bard. Thank you for staying tuned for our performance. If you want to learn more about these subclasses, stay tuned for another video in the future. Tales of the Valiant has 2 subclasses available for the Bard currently. They're called the Lore and the Victory College, so do stay tuned. In the meantime, thank you guys for tuning in to ToVsday. Thank you again to Kobold Press for sponsoring us and welcoming us into the Kobold Creates program. And we'll see you all next ToVsday. Bye-bye for now.
Bye!
Bye!